Hello, everyone. My name is Max. I'm here with Moobs Like Jagger from the GG and crew and Virtual Spectre. And we're here to give you knowledge about Dungeons and Dragons for free, just for you, specially curated. Hope everyone's
All of it.
having a fine week. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please continue, sir.
Oh, you said we're giving away D&D knowledge for free, and I said all of the knowledge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All of it. And we'll put it in a nice little tome, and you can take it with you and tell your friends. Hope everyone's having a good start of the week this week. If you were in the United States, my brain almost just went Spanish, and I was like, if you're in the Estados Unidos, which is the United States, I don't know why. If you live in the Estados Unidos, hopefully you all were safe, cuddled your puppies from firework nonsense, and retained all of your limbs. Hopefully, I've noticed in my my old age now, I just don't like fireworks at all anymore. Doesn't do it for me. Nothing.
We had people still lighting them off yesterday. I'm like, to jail.
Yeah, straight to jail. There's still every once in a while people outside here that will fire them off. But
To
yeah,
jail.
it's just one of those silly things. Like, why is that allowed? In reality, it's not in a lot of places, but it still happens. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. What are we here to talk about? Dungeons and Dragons. They're unlocking lots of knowledge weekly, or it's not quite daily. I don't think. Maybe it is. It's pretty frequently with Dungeons and Dragons that are releasing little tidbits and snippets about the 2024 player handbook. And we've talked about previously. We talked about Paladin. Talked about Rogue. I think it was fitting since our very own Moobs Like Jagger is playing a Warlock in our campaign, which you can catch on Friday nights on Twitch and YouTube, or in podcast format if you prefer to look with your ears. I figured it would be an excellent. I'm glad that you picked up what I was doing. What kind of silly I have going on here. But yeah, we talk about the Warlock changes, and then we'll continue on there. But with that being said, if you are not part of our Patreon, there's also a free tier that has some stuff on it. You can go check it out at patreon.com/caches and cantrips. Go check it out. Or you can go look on any of your favorite podcast platforms and just search for us, Caches and Cantrips, and you'll see us. And we'll have lots of content for you, including our Out of Combat episodes, which are only on podcast and YouTube. They're not live anywhere. So we talk about after the episodes from our campaign 2, where we get into the nitty-gritty details and behind the scenes stuff. And I will say I did not listen to the last one when I was editing it, so I'm gonna have to go back and actually listen when the episode comes out.
Well, how do you not listen while you edit?
Because Bun Bun Brother is helping us with editing, and when I say helping, we're paying him to do it. And he's gotten really good at it. So I don't even spot check. I look and make sure it's all right and hit go. So he's been helping us out. So
okay, well that explains it.
Yeah, he's been helping us out. So thank you, Bun Bun Brother, for saving most of my Saturdays now or Sundays. It only takes half the time now. But anyway, so yeah, that's how I haven't heard it. And I didn't listen to this one either. So when y'all were recording it. So interesting stuff. Very interesting things happening in our campaign if you haven't heard yet. And if you're not caught up, just speed listen through all 45 previous episodes. It's easy. It's only 120 plus hours.
You know, people have binged shows in very little amount of time. They can totally binge campaign 2. You know, hop on your bike, hop on your treadmill, and just hit play.
Yeah. Easy peasy. Anyway, let's talk about warlocks. And let me get this on the screen because we're a professional now. We're a professional stream, and I can show you all, the audience, what we're looking at. Technology. And the first thing that I would like to ask you all, both in the chat and my esteemed co-hosts here, the first thing we have is this wonderful image of a warlock. And I want each of you to tell me what that gentleman's name is on the spot. What would you name this fella if it was your character?
Grizzlebrim.
Grizzlebrim, got it.
Tuck Fizbind.
I love that.
TUK.
Bullywick Dimpledrome is what I've got going on there. Some good ones.
What kind of warlock is he?
Judging by the vague tentacleness
I would
around
say
the edges.
Fae.
I was gonna say
Fae?
great old one with all the tentacles around, like on the edge there.
Ooh, you're right. Tennies.
They could be like thorns though, or brambles.
Banners.
He kind of looks whimsical. He looks kind of.
He kind of looks whimsical.
He looks like he's got some fae going on.
Yeah.
Some fae shenanigans.
Yeah. DB in the chat. That is Hoobastank. Fantastic.
The ska version, it's definitely whimsical and fae-like.
Yeah, Hephaestus. Why did I say that? So it's, I know it's not Hephaestus, but what you put, but how I pronounced it was Hephaestus. It's like a Southern belle trying to say Hephaestus.
Hephaestus. He gave us humans the fire.
Yeah. All right. I think, Moves, you can go and start us off with the level 1 shenanigans of what we have going on here with the new Warlock in 2024.
Yeah. Sure thing, since I am the magic man of Warlocks. I watched, as usual, I watched the video that accompanied the blog with Jeremy Crawford and his co-host, who just says yep and nothing else. But honestly, I was a little, I want to say disappointed, but underwhelmed by the lack of information. Like other classes have like a deeper dive of what's going on. Warlock's not so much. So I think maybe there's possible there's still a little uncertainty, and maybe Warlock's not locked in all the way. But yeah, we can start with the level 1 with Eldritch Invocations.
Also, before you go too deep,
Warlocks, and
I just realized how big level 1 is. So if you feel like you want to stop talking, just pass it to somebody, because it's like half of the whole discussion.
It is. Anyway. It is half of the blog, literally level 1.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And then Max mentioned earlier while we were talking before we started the podcast, but yeah, they go to level 3 and then nothing until level 9. So I don't know what's missing in the middle. Who knows?
Mysteries.
So in 2024, yes, all the mysteries. 2024, Warlocks no longer pick their patron at level 1. They pick it at level 3. To keep it online with all the other classes. All classes get subclasses at level 3 now, including Cleric. But one of the first noticeable changes in the 2024 Warlock is that you get access to your first Eldritch Invocation at Warlock level 1 instead of level 2. Overall, Eldritch Invocations have received a major overhaul with key changes, including several quality of life updates. And then let's take a look at some of the big shifts. One of the biggies is there's no more pack boons. They are now invocations. So the 2014 Warlock, your pack boons such as the Pack of the Blade, Pack of the Tome, Pack of the Chain, was a separate feature bestowed at level 3. In the new 2024 Warlock, the pack boons feature is gone, and these packs are now options that you can choose as part of your Eldritch Invocations. In the 2014 Warlock, further improvements to your boon pack were accessible via invocations, such as Gift of the Protector, Investment of the Chain Master, and the Thirsting Blade. So rolling pack boons entirely into Eldritch Invocation simplifies the structure while preserving the mechanics. There are two really important beneficial aspects of the ship. Yeah.
So could I just had this thought. Theoretically, could I just not pick a pack boon just at all? And just do other invocations?
You can skip it. You don't need a you don't need to take the Blade Invocation or the Tome or whatever. Or if you wanted, you could take both. If you want a Pack of the Blade and Pack of the Tome, you have that option now because they're just invocations. You're not restricted to just picking one anymore. And Bun has a question. Before we get that, we'll finish this paragraph. So there are two really important beneficial aspects to the first. First, you no longer have to choose between them. All three of the former pack boons options are now selected as you level up and gain access to more invocations. And they mentioned they did an overhaul on the invocations, which sadly they don't talk about in the blog. But in the video, Jeremy Crawford says there's now a more linear path where as you level, you gain access to stronger invocations, which they kind of already did, but I guess they're streamlining it more where it's like you're not overwhelmed with too many invocations in the beginning. And then so you can have a packed weapon via Pack of the Blade and a familiar via Pack of the Chain. So you can have both. Or if you want to Book of Shadows or Pack of Tome, if you really wanted all three, you can absolutely do it. But yeah, I will let someone else take over more Eldritch Invocations.
Okay. I'll go ahead. So, more Eldritch Invocations. Seeing as you get an invocation at level 1, and the progression has been expedited, 2024 Warlocks will have access to more invocations than their 2014 counterpart, maxing out at 10 when they hit level 18. As with the older version of Warlock, whenever you gain a Warlock level, you can replace one invocation with another, as long as it isn't a prerequisite for another invocation you have. That's a lot of invocations.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that because invocations are like the Warlock's shtick. That's like the thing that makes them the most unique out of any other classes, and I'm all for more of them because I want more of them.
All right. Some Eldritch Invocations can be repeated. Popular Eldritch Invocations for Warlock like Agonizing Blast and Repelling Blast are still here, but with a couple of big changes. First, they are no longer limited to Eldritch Blast. Instead, you choose one of your known Warlock cantrips that deal damage, and now you can add your Charisma modifier to that damage roll. So now you can boost damage for Toll the Dead or Thunderclap with Agonizing Blast if that suits your Warlock build better than Eldritch Blast. Note, however, that Repelling Blast is restricted to cantrips that deal damage via an attack roll. Next, you can select these invocations multiple times when adding new Eldritch invocations. So if you're trying to build a cantrip powerhouse, you can add Agonizing Blast or Repelling Blast to multiple cantrips. But of course, you'll still use it for Eldritch Blast because, let's face it, you're a Warlock. You're probably going to want to.
You know what? Screw that. I would build a Warlock that doesn't use Eldritch Blast just because of that. The Warlock is one of the things I didn't like it of how reliant it was
Frost,
on that one spell. In the last game that I played, I had a Hexblade, and I just, for the longest time, I just didn't take Eldritch Blast at all until, I had more cantrips, and I was like, well, why not? But I love the fact that you can just put it on whatever cantrip you want, because that makes way more sense.
Yeah. I like this too. I bounced around with the idea of potentially doing a Warlock for some things, and I was just like, I don't really. I wish I could do a little bit more, and Warlocks can do more, a little bit higher levels when you start unlocking stuff for their subclasses, but it's still primarily Eldritch Blast when you're in combat. But now, at least you can get a little creative.
I don't like the blog post at the end. It's like, but of course you'll still use Eldritch Blast because you're a Warlock. They're like, that's dumb. Don't include that because do you already know you made Eldritch Blast OP compared to other cantrips? Like, don't poke fun at it. Just fix it.
Yeah.
I'll do the next one. Spell slots. Who needs them? With the exception of Eldritch Smite, which deals a lot of damage and makes them prone, none of the 2024 Player's Handbook Eldritch Invocations carry the using a Warlock spell slot description. You still have spell slots for your pact magic, but they're largely no longer fuel the invocations you get from your patron. Instead, the Eldritch Invocations feel like a wholly separate power branch unique to the Warlock class. Customization allowed by these changes to invocations makes the new Warlock feel like someone who has poured over contracts with their patron and selected the powers best suited to them. I like it. Warlocks have so precious few spell slots to mess with stuff anyway that wow, like I wouldn't even take those invocations. I want to use my spell slots for other spells instead of those.
Yeah, I think all that's fine. That way, when it comes time to use one of the few spells, you can actually use it for something other than what you would normally do.
Yeah. Let's look at Magical Cunning. I'll jump into this one. So Magical Cunning, level 2. We're in level 2 now, boys. Here we go. The Warlock Pact Magic and spell slot progression works the same way as it did in 2014. Interesting. So they went back to that. You also can still recover expended spell slots at the end of a short or long rest. So they kept that the same. I wonder if there's too much pushback in the playtest materials on that. Magical Cunning gives you another way to recover your Warlock spell slots. Now, once per long rest, you can use this feature to spend 1 minute on a ritual that restores half of your maximum spell slots rounded up. The Eldritch Master feature, granted at level 20, still allows you to regain all your pack magic spell slots, but flavor-wise, it is now considered a more powerful version of the level 2 feature. I feel like I'm missing some information on that description.
Yeah. This is what I mean about the Warlock blog. It's missing a lot of things and doesn't clarify some stuff.
Correct me if I'm
But
wrong.
I think you
Go ahead.
Who?
Sorry, you cut out, so I don't know what you said.
He said continue.
Yeah. I think Moobs, you're hearing me like a couple seconds after I say stuff for some reason. But what I was gonna say is like taking like a long rest that should just give you all your spell slots back anyway. So what's different here? Unless I'm missing something. But
this is but yeah, I am for some reason delayed from your audio. But anyways, this is an additional thing Warlocks are getting. So not on top of the short rest, long rest thing of getting their spells back, you can spend 1 minute to perform a ritual and get half your spells back on top of the short rest, long rest, and you can do this once per long rest. So it's just more ways to get spells back faster.
It's once per long rest, not during long rest, like my brain filled in.
Yeah.
So now it all makes sense.
It really seems like
like arcane recovery for Warlocks, basically what Zeus said.
Yeah, it really seems like they're now that they're kind of like
half their
keeping
spells rounded up. So I don't know if they're getting more than 2 Warlock spell slots. Does this mean they're getting more now? Which is also it's unclear, which they don't really talk about Warlock spells really in the blog. So
It sounds like since they're keeping spell progression the same as 2014, like they're trying to find ways to make it so players aren't doing the "Can I have a short rest?" or "Can we have a short rest now?" Like, because that's as a warlock, so
Yeah.
you have to do it to get your stuff back. But because
There's-
now some things don't use your spell slots, right? Less stuff
Mhm.
pulls from those, and you get this extra thing here. So I think this is their compromise, basically. Now that they're keeping it the same way as 2014.
I don't know. Maybe
well, yeah, magical cutting is
Institute-
pretty cool.
yeah, maybe institute more classes that get things back on a short rest, and then it's not a warlock's problem. But I think that the most important now, before we get to level 3, is to take a look at this piece of art. And I think that you all, including the chat, should give me a name for this absolute Chad right here.
Just Darius.
I was thinking a single
just
name.
A one namer, huh?
I was thinking a one name or two. My brain was going like Zixarion, but still like one name energy.
Yeah. It's a very cool art.
Yeah, I like that one. Bun with the Thaddeus.
And I was like, Falgor Magmun.
Grayson. Yeah. Another
Dorian
one. DB.
Gray. Get out of here, bun.
Oh man. All right. Moobs. I think level 3 is all you.
Yep. So the subclasses now accessible at level 3. They cover 4 of them, and they pretty much just redone Archfey Pact or Patron and the Great Old One. So for the Archfey Patron, the Archfey subclass leans more into the Feywild nature of your patron. Misty Step is added to your prepared spell list, as many of the features of this subclass gives you extra use of the spell, along with the healing bonuses and the damage effects on enemies when you use it. Beguiling Defenses has been updated to reduce damage when you take and inflict damage as a reaction. So I'm not. Again, there's like lacking information on what does that mean, right? Like, I don't know.
I think that Archfey, I'm glad that Archfey and Great Old One are ones that got some facelifts, because those I think needed a little bit more oomph behind them anyway. And we talked about this before the stream, but you don't see Hexblade on this list. And since we went through all the playtest materials beforehand, it seems like that all the things that Hexblade got are being rolled into Pact of the Blade and some other invocations along with it. So, which I'm happy to see. I love that. Pact is probably my favorite one to do for a Warlock, but I feel like it really feels kind of flat flavor wise compared to other ones. It's like, yeah, your patron's a weapon. Go have fun. But anyway, what were you gonna say, VS? Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say with the Archfey, it sounds like you'll be getting Misty Step effects similar to like the sort of features that Eladrin have. Like some effects that do small AoE damage or charm AoE or something.
I like that.
It's kind of cool.
All right, and Celestial Patron, Celestial Radiance now also grants temporary hit points when you finish your magical cunning ritual. or complete a short or long rest. Pretty
Sick.
cool. 10 pinpoints.
That's cool.
I imagine that they might do a little more with Celestial. I don't know. Being patron. So the Dark One's blessing now grants you temporary hit points if someone else reduces an enemy to 0 hit points within 10 feet of you, instead of once per long rest. And you can use Dark One's own luck a number of times equal to Charisma modifier, and use Hurl Through Hell again by expending a pack magic spell slot. So that's fucking huge.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds pretty cool.
I would love to do a fiend, like your typical like fiend classic warlock, roll in back to the chain and hex blade all into that. I think that'd be some really cool flavor going on there.
Oh yeah.
And the Great Old One patron. The Great Old One patron receives the biggest changes of any of the 2024 Warlock subclasses, and is now much more heavily focused on the Lovecraftian Eldritch horror elements in it. So, Cthulhu, all the tentacles.
Mm-hmm.
The feature of this subclass now are heavily centered on using your patron's power to curse your enemies with hex, break their minds with psychic damage, and even unleash aberrant horrors on the battlefield. So it looks like they're getting some summons.
Some creepies, some creepy crawlies. I do like that, those changes. And I like that there is a subclass sort of leaning into Hex, because Hex is a really important spell that Warlocks have anyway. Like, I mean, most Warlocks end up taking it for the extra damage. I think it's cool that something will be modifying that.
Mm-hmm. And they did note in the video that they're in Find Familiar, they're getting rid of the venomous snake, and it's now a warlock only familiar that they can summon.
Oh.
I don't know how people feel about that, because they felt venomous snake was too OP and was like the number one choice to pick.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
All right.
Jumping from 3 to 9. Let's go. Go for it, VS.
Yeah.
Contact
Huge gap.
Contact Patron, level 9. 2024 Player's Handbook has a brand new feature for Warlocks that ties directly into your role as the recipient of power from a patron. Starting at level 9, every 2024 Warlock has the ability to reach out and contact their patron directly once per long rest. This feature grants you the spell Contact Other Plane as an always prepared spell. You can use the spell once per day to contact your patron without expending a spell slot, and you automatically succeed on the intelligence saving throw required to complete the spell. So go ahead and ask your patron if you can have cake for dinner. You deserve it.
Man, I think that there was a character recently that I think we all know that would have loved to have had this option in the recent future, or in the recent history of campaign 2. So sorry,
Yep.
buddy.
I don't want to get into spoilers, but it fucking sucked trying to contact Asterix patron. So this would have been a lot easier for sure. But it's level 9. We're only level 8, so
Yeah.
I would still have to go through those trial and tribulations, I guess.
I mean, patrons are kind of dicks, right? If they know you exist at all. So otherwise, you'd just be
That's
a
true.
cleric if they like you.
But it is nice you auto save so you don't go insane for 24 hours. That's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
That's a nice benefit. Level 11, Mystic Arcanum. Mystic Arcanum, it's basically functions the same as it did in 2014, but with an extra benefit to it. So whenever you gain a Warlock level past 11, you can replace one of your Mystic Arcanum spells with another of the same level. So it used to be one of the optional features called Eldritch Versatility in Tasha's, and now they just rolled it in there. So Mystic Arcanum are basically the extra spells that you can learn and have access to as a warlock, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool. Cool.
Well, this one I find if that is the Warlock versatility thing, because you get that at level 4, but now you get that at level 11.
No. It's saying well, let me look here. Let me see the optional class feature. Yeah, Eldritch versatility. I think they're saying that Eldritch versatility also includes the Mystic Arcanum as well. I think is what it was saying.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it was an optional. Yeah, okay, so it's under Eldritch versatility, but then it says if you're 12th level or higher, you can replace your Mystic Arcanum feature. So it's an optional Tasha's thing. Now it's just part of the class. So
Cool. And level 19 is the epic boon. There are 12 epic boons in the 2024 player's handbook, and this is the one
12?
they recommended for the warlock. Yeah, 12, I guess.
I like that. Was there that many in the was it the DMG or the PHP? I don't remember. It didn't seem like it.
Yeah, there's going to be 12 in the PHP, and I'm sure they're probably going to expand on that more down the road. But they have chosen the Boon of Fate. Increases one ability score of 1 to a maximum of 30. When you roll, or another creature within 60 feet of you succeed or fails on a d20 test, you can roll 2d4 and add or subtract from that result on the d20 roll. You can use this feat. Once you use this feat, you can't use it again until a short or long rest or roll for initiative. Interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Haven't seen
Okay.
that one.
Yeah, that one's kind of cool. For a level 19 epic boon, though, I mean, that can really sway a dice roll potentially, though. 60 feet. It's okay.
When they say a D20 test, they literally mean any roll requires a D20.
Correct.
So
I think so.
I'm trying to think of a scenario where like you want something to fail and you could tip the scales towards that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like I don't know. Like imagine if a wizard did what is it? The disintegrate or what's the spell?
Yeah.
Is there a save involved in that one?
Yes.
No. Is there
it's just
for disintegrate?
I don't know.
Right.
I didn't know if there was like a I don't know how spells work, man.
Or am I thinking of Finger of Death?
You're thinking of Finger of Death. Disintegrate is if you have less than this amount of HP, then you disintegrate. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
Let me double check.
Anyway,
Let me see.
Check.
Yeah, thin removes. Yeah. Dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 10d6 plus 44.
You're right.
But if it reduces them to 0 hit points, they are dust.
Yep, you're right.
I can see. I don't know.
2d4 doesn't seem like a whole lot.
It's a little,
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if you roll max, it sways a roll
any
for
stat
sure.
you choose.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. Yeah, 8. Pretty beef. 2
or 2.
Not maybe.
You can use it once until a short rest, long rest, or roll for initiative.
Yeah, so any encounter you get a freebie.
Yeah. Any sort of combat encounter, and then you have it at least another time during your adventuring day to do other stuff with, like a social encounter or a skill check or anything like that too. So
I guess that part makes it better.
But that's 2024 Warlock right there.
They're leaving a lot out, and I don't like it.
I wish there was a little more information. Yeah. Especially
Mhm.
like
A little more context to like some of this.
like level 3 to level 9, there's nothing in between. So
What are they
maybe it's
hiding?
just like normal stuff. Yeah. It's either probably just like normal business for Warlock stuff, and these are just like the big changes. So what do you get
Yeah.
between 3 and 9 from the normal Warlock? So you get
Yeah, there's not a lot that
your level
that's
6
missing.
otherworldly patron feature. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Which they probably didn't want to include specific patron stuff into this, so I mean, maybe I thought there was more, but I guess you just get more invocations in between there and it makes it more exciting. So
That's true. But yeah, I
And
wish they would show examples of like the changes and stuff for the invocations.
mhm.
yeah, and you get stuff for your subclass too, don't you?
Yes. Yes,
I
yes,
don't know what
yes.
level intervals those are at, but
Yeah, level
Yeah.
6.
DB, you are right. Monks
Unless
are
they move that.
monks are beasts now, and they're
can we
going to
talk about that
be
one next time?
yeah, monks are on the list for sure because they've got some spicy changes, I believe, that
I
I would
haven't seen
like
anything
to.
about it, so
And that is VS's first love was a monk. So
And it
but
Valkan,
yeah.
the name he confused with Hayden for many, many sessions.
maybe next campaign will be a 400-year-old elf who just happens to know kung fu who shows
Yeah.
up.
He's back, baby.
He'll be a mysterious figure called Valcant.
Yeah, just call him V.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, let us know what you think of the Warlock changes. Come hang out on our Discord and tell us all about it. Or if you want us to cover a specific topic next, just like let us know. There's other things like there's monk, there's ranger, druid is out there, fighter, barbarian, wizard. Also non-class related stuff like weapon mastery, feats,
Sorcerer scheduled for tomorrow.
spells, crafting, lots of stuff. So we want to hear about what you want to listen to next, and we can take care of that for you. We can take care of that for you. So but yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you enjoyed your time with us. I'm liking these changes, and I want all the books, and they can't get here soon enough. So but anyway, have a fantastic night, everybody, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.